AskReddit by Smart Chocolate 3185. What's one decision from your past that you regret the most, and why? My neglecting mental health. I suffered, missed opportunities and most important lost time which will never come back. Don't kick yourself over that. When your mental health is in the shitter, acting upon it is very hard to do. Deleted. This hits home. Underestimating addictions and procrastination. Your own? How little I brought with me when I evacuated for Hurricane Katrina. There are so many physically small things I wish I still had and easily had room for. I'm from Houston, grew up road tripping to NOLA often, and one of my oldest and nearest friends was living in the quarter for the storm. He got out before the levees breached, but a few other friends did not. Thankfully, I didn't lose anyone close through all that. I cannot imagine either scenario, the danger and trauma of being stuck there in the aftermath, or the lack of closure and loss at getting out and leaving so much behind. I'm so sorry you went through that. Watching the coverage as it happened was gut-wrenching. Katrina stories still fuck me up. I can't imagine living through it. The Rita evacuation mess we had was bad enough. Not studying abroad that semester in college. It isn't too late. I regret ever getting together with my ex. If I hadn't been at that fucking party, he could have hooked up with the affair partner much sooner and lived a happier life without destroying mine. I hate that man so fucking much. Piece of shit, I hope his relationship is destroyed. I knew it was a toxic relationship within 90 days. I had made a commitment, thought I could bring my best to it, and stayed for 3 years. Begging someone for love. My stomach churns when I remember that. My dad told me to go home and put my kids to bed after I had spent the day at his side in the hospital. I didn't want to leave, but he told me your kids should never go to sleep without you kissing them goodnight. He died that night and I feel I never really said goodbye. Last thing my dad said was goal of your life while he was in the hospital. It was the last time he was fully there. I didn't know it was the last time. I understand a bit of this feeling, and what helped me was realizing that we never know when it happened and I can't hold on to that feeling of if I knew. So I'm giving you a hug. Marrying the wrong person. Not plucking up the courage to pursue my current boyfriend sooner, because I had quietly crushed on him for many years. I wasted so much time on horrible men and being in less than desirable situations when I could have been happy all along. Staying too long in an unsatisfying relationship. Right there with you. Hard to admit out loud right now, but a very real situation. Deleted. You can kick it. It's going to take a lot though. A good friend of mine used for years and years, and it even escalated to harder drugs, but he turned it around with a rehab, sober living house, group therapy. You can do this. Not asking that one girl out in senior year, 1988. I think she would have said yes. But I was dumb. While she was cute, she wasn't conventionally attractive. Again, my fault, and I was a total dumbass. We're friends on Facebook and she appears to be doing well. I'm glad because she's also a nice person. Same happened with me, except my old best friend is still with her. My first degree. Wasted 3 years and ended up in so much debt. I finally paid it off this year, almost 8-9 years after I finished it and not working in the industry at all. This is so scary to me. I look at going back to school regularly. I believe there are aspects of it I would really love. There are some majors that I find very interesting, but I would be paying for this with my own money. I'm middle-aged, so it's not like I could, or would, live at my parents' place while I go to school. And I look at all of the bloatware courses that are thrown in for good measure, and the price of textbooks and all the other incidental fees that universities tack on. And how many classes are not even in person anymore, even though the university has this big, beautiful property to host classes in real life. I just can't justify the huge financial expense when I might not even be guaranteed any sort of job out of it, no matter how much I would love to be learning and potentially getting into that industry. Going on a diet 6 years later and I am still stuck in full-blown anorexia. I hope it gets better for you. I hope you ask for help. Not giving Rhonda a chance. And wasting way too much time and energy on Valerie. Hell yeah, we name dropping. Justice for Rhonda. Thing is with regrets is that you never know where it would have ended up if you had done or not done something different. There's a quote at the beginning of this old school techno song. It's better to regret something you have done than to regret something you haven't done. And it seems true the more I think about it. Had a choice between two women. One local girl and the other was a celebrity YouTuber. Went with the YouTuber, which was a complete mistake. Ended up getting cheated on. Lost my shit and had a mental breakdown. Local girl showed up at my house every day to take care of me and make sure I was okay, but said we'd never be anything more than friends since I made my choice and there was no going back in her book. Biggest fumble of my life. I lost out on someone who I probably would have married and been happy with. This sounds like it could still change. If you begin with small steps showing her you want to always be there for her. Staying with someone when you should have left. Being married my first time. Probably the heavy drinking that led to it. I regret not chasing my dreams sooner. I wasted a lot of time being afraid, being uncertain, and just generally hiding from what I really wanted in life. This. Thinking that I have time. Marrying and having a child with the person I'm divorcing. I'm WU babe. It's the fucking worst. Not following a certain someone to Pasadena. He's now a distinguished scientist at the Space Science Center in Colorado. I always wanted to pair up with a scientist or someone super intelligent and dedicated to his hugely interesting work. I missed my chance.